Good morning. Guess what day it is? It's September 28th. There are a couple of things going on today. It's Ask a Stupid Question Day, and it's Gold Lining Day. The Kelly Kids Foundation is a 501c3 organization that focuses on helping pediatric cancer patients and their families by funding grants for pediatric cancer research, educating the public about issues related to childhood cancer, and awarding scholarships to children with cancer and to their siblings, organizing bone marrow registration and blood drives, and celebrating inspirational individuals and organizations. It was founded in January of 2018 by Daniel Kelly and his family. The family created Gold Lining Day a few months later. The Kelly family had had a difficult 2016 and 17, so they decided 2018 should be a year of celebrations where something positive could be made out of each day. They started celebrating daily holidays, from the common to the obscure, many of which they founded on Check-a-Day. After being inspired by the holidays they found on Check-a-Day, they decided to make their own. Gold Lining Day, a day for people to reflect on a difficult situation in their own life and make an effort to find the gold lining by turning it into something positive. They chose September 28 as the date for Gold Lining Day because it was the date in 2016 that the oldest Kelly daughter, Bridget, who was 7 at the time, was diagnosed with leukemia. Since Gold Lining Day is about finding ways to turn difficult situations into something positive, they thought it was the perfect date. As the family, they had worked together to look for silver linings when Bridget was facing the challenges with her cancer. And it was these linings, like being supported by others, receiving kindness from the hospital staff, having Bridget get through a medical procedure and other things, that helped them pull through. The Kelly family chose to call it Gold Lining Day instead of silver because gold is considered to be the superior. Gold Lining Day is not just for those facing cancer, but for those dealing with any hardship or adversity, such as the loss of a loved one or even daily stresses. It's a day to look at those hardships in a different way and to make something positive come out of them. For example, if the hurt is on account of the loss of a loved one, the day can be used to keep their memory and legacy alive and to honor them by doing something they would have appreciated. There's a story in the Bible that to me shows how to make a gold lining from a life of hardship, and that's Joseph. Joseph was his father's favorite, but his brothers hated him. In fact, they hated him so much that they kidnapped him and they sold him into slavery. When he was sold as a slave to a prominent man, the man's wife started liking Joseph, and she made a proposition to Joseph, but Joseph turned her down, so she accused him of trying to rape her. Joseph was thrown in prison. Joseph spent quite a bit of time in prison. Finally, Pharaoh had some dreams that he was very disturbed about, and God gave Joseph the wisdom to interpret the dreams. Because of that, Joseph was promoted to the prime minister of Egypt. He was able in that position not only to save the Egyptians during the great famine, but also his whole family. During that famine, his brothers came to get food, and they bowed down to Joseph when asking for the food. They didn't recognize Joseph, but he recognized them. So finally, after time went by, he revealed himself to his brothers and brought his whole family to Egypt to live during the rest of the famine. Then Joseph's father died. His brothers became afraid that he would retaliate for all they had done to him. But listen to Genesis 45, 5 through 7. But now, do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourselves, because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years the famine has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity for you in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. Joseph saw that God used him to be the gold lining in actually all their lives. Just think of how Joseph viewed his life in view of the gold lining that God made through the hardships that he endured. You may be enduring hardships today, but look around and look deeply, for God may be creating a gold lining within your hardship.